We also would normally, as way in the model here, would put any questions or comments, please put them in the chat and we'll collate them and answer them at the end. We get together on a Friday afternoon to catch up around the Monday Muddle, and wanted to sort of give a sort of different slant on the week ahead as well. And obviously we managed to find out it was National Hug a Plumber Day today, as well as World Penguin Day. And the really important thing with which I found out about plumbing anyway, essentially, is that lots of people have died on the toilet. So such as Elvis Presley had his heart attack on the toilet. King George II died falling off the toilet. So I just wanted to remind you all to try and be safe out there when on the toilet as we go into National Hug a Plumber Day today. Who would have thought it? So I will hand over to Celia, who's going to give us an update, or Laura actually, who's going to give an update on where we are with operational pressures within the Children's Hospital at the moment.
Hello everyone, you've got me this morning for the update. So I'm Celia McKenzie, Head of Nursing at the Children's Hospital, for those of you that don't know me. So just a few things to update on this week. Just to be aware, L40 have had a really pressured time at the moment with one of their young patients, and causing all sorts of problems, meaning that we've had to support them quite a lot. And moving staff around and about. So I wanted to say a massive thank you to all the teams that have really rallied around to support the nursing and the medical teams in relation to this patient. And also we've had some really good corporate support too. That situation remains ongoing. It does mean that some of us get pulled at very last minute due to the nature of the situation. And the nursing team, you know, for those of you that are on and off ward 40, to just be aware they are under some increased pressure at the moment, but they are being really well supported. PICU and HDU pressures remain the same. We still have HDU merged onto PICU. This is allowing us to get more patients through requiring HDU or critical care support, but acuity remains high. We are doing our very best to not cancel anything and get patients through for their elective surgery, and we spend quite a bit of time each morning doing that, and I think things have improved really since we've merged PICU and HDU. So just for everyone to be aware, and I'm not sure when we'll be opening HDU up at the moment. We're just monitoring that on a daily/weekly basis. And then to just let you all know that from the 2nd of May, there will be a new process in place in relation to COVID and swabbing. PCR swabs are pretty much going to go, and it will be lateral flows. We're just waiting for organisational steer and support on that. We'll let you know, but there's so much going on in the background that if I told you it all now, it's bound to have changed by the end of the week. But it's just to let you know that that change is on its way. Thank you very much. That's all from me for now.
So I think we are on to looking at the finances within the Children's Hospital, and Suzanne is going to give us an update as to say where we're up to as we look to try and balancing the books. Suzanne, over to you.
Will do. Well, we're still not quite there, but we're getting closer and closer. So as we remember, we have put forward our best case scenario in the first 3 months of the year. That's assuming that every wage reduction scheme that we have will come off to its full value, independent of what risk we've associated with that. When we make those kind of assumptions, we were at the end of last month assuming a best case scenario that we would have a gap of £1 million. And we are hopeful that we can reduce that to about £400,000 by the end of this month, so that we will still have a gap, but it will be a £400,000. And what we will do then is add it onto our waste reduction target. So it all comes back, and I know I sound like a broken record, but it really is true that it is waste reduction is the key to getting us out of this, because as you know, once we're in a financially sustainable position, we can reinvest in our services and do some fantastic things that we've done or managed to secure the money for last year. and implement, and things like the outreach team, the discharge team, the complex health needs team. All these things are a testament to the fact that we put our money where our mouth is. So if you can help us secure this waste reduction, then we can help you in doing the service developments that we all want to do to benefit things for our patients and for our families. So that's where we are from a finance point of view. I'll hand over to Liz now from a waste reduction point of view to see if she can give you some inspiration to try and secure these final bits. Thanks, Liz.
Morning, everyone. I'm afraid I'm not really on waste reduction this morning, Suzanne. We're thinking innovation and quality improvement. But of course, all these things do ultimately lead to waste reduction somehow in people's time or things like that. So I'm sure pretty much everyone on this call's aware of the fantastic virtual reality distraction therapy study that's been taking place, led by Tracy Martin. And there's been some great results for patients having invasive procedures like cannulation, port access, drain removal, pin site cleaning, and even a minor surgical procedure that was performed under local anaesthetic with virtual reality distraction instead of a general anaesthetic. There's a bit of waste reduction for you, no full theatre team. And the project really is a wonderful example of quality improvement using innovation to improve patient experience. But the study's now ended and it's being evaluated, but I was chatting with Tracy last week and she was telling me that virtual reality distraction is still available because she's currently trialling a new headset that's even better and even easier to use than the one that was in the study. So that's really great. We've got options now. So can you just have a think about any patients who might benefit, especially if virtual reality could be an alternative to sedation or anaesthesia? Tracy will welcome referrals and I'll put her contact details in the chat. And if you're keen to know more about it, Tracy will be sharing her experience of the study in the Leeds Children's Hospital Research Forum on the 4th of May at 12 o'clock. It was mentioned in the Buzz this week, on Friday, so there's a contact link there and I'll also post the link in the chat. So yeah, just as always, we're really keen to hear from you. So, for instance, if you've got an idea about innovative health tech that could benefit our patients in the same way that this has, please let us know, because we're really keen to support innovation within the Children's Hospital. And we're also really fortunate that we've got the LTHT Innovation Hub to support us with expertise and contacts. So thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Liz. And the other thing is to say that please let us know of stuff that you're doing as well without sort of Liz and Kirsty's help. Suzanne had the joy of doing one of the job planning meetings with one of the lead clinicians, and he was updating on some of the work that he was already doing. So they got new echo machines within the adult cardiology congenital team. They've managed to agree with Philips that they'll keep one of them back, and they're taking that to Wharfdale and setting a clinic up there. So real innovation happening that we don't often hear about, so please let us know about it. It's great. So Celia, you were going to update us with regards to sort of lessons learned or insight into the situation.
Yeah. Thank you, Colin. So I'm just going to talk to you very briefly about tiny noticeable things. If any of you want to have a look on the internet and look up Adrian Webster and tiny noticeable things, these are things that we don't need to do or don't even realize that we do, but when we do them, they have a massive impact on somebody. And over the last few weeks, we've been focusing as a nursing team on the tiny noticeable things and how they make people feel. And actually having that focus, there's been a number of times where I've said to people, well, there you go, that was a tiny noticeable thing, and what a difference that's made to you. So that might be just something like an email that you send to someone to completely out of the blue, just acknowledging the great work they do and the way that makes people feel, or doing a little job for somebody that for you seems very minor and insignificant, but makes a massive difference to that person on that day. So I think what we've learned is how important those tiny noticeable things are, and we're working on building that through our nursing workforce, so that when times are tough and it feels really hard out there, think about those tiny noticeable things and what a difference they can make to people and their morale. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Celia. And it's so right. We totally underestimate the sort of the thanks and even tiny feedback that we can give to people makes a massive difference. And I had a trainee with me recently as well who just arrived from Pakistan, and he was just saying the fact that I'd said hello to him in the morning made such a difference, because no one had done that so far. And it is the tiny little stuff that happens that people really recognize, and then they can, change those around them as well. So thank you for that, Celia. We have also sharing success. I think there was going to be an update with regards to the PIFU project. So that's patient-initiated follow-up.
We'll pop that up a week on Monday, Colin, because we'll have some more information by then.
Ah, perfect. Well, then I think it's back to our 100 days challenge, essentially, of some description. And Celia is leading on this along with Lisa Beaumont. And there's some great initiatives out there. So Celia, tell us about your 100-day challenge.
So I'll tell you all what the 100-day challenge is if you've not noticed. It was last week, it was 100 days until the British Transplant Games in Leeds. Matthew Hick kicked us off in an amazing way with his cycling 100 miles to work, not on one day. I think he might not make it to work if he did that. I can see him laughing in the background, I think. So he kicked us off, and thank you so much, Matthew, for that. And so 100 days challenge, what can you all do in the next 100 days? So I'm going to swim 100 lengths, and lots of other people have got all sorts of things. So it's really just raising the profile that the British Transplant Games is going to be in Leeds towards the end of July. It's a massive thing for us in Leeds. There's a lot of work gone in the background from Lisa and I to ensure we get the games to our home city. We so far have 45 children registered to take part. That's the biggest Leeds team we've had, and we are one of the biggest teams anyway. And so it'd be great to have everybody on board with us. So have a think of what you think you could do in the next 100 days, and we'll be out and about getting photos and bits of information. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Celia. So I think that brings us towards the end of our model. I think Suzanne was going to update us about sort of healthier at home as well. I can't see any obvious questions in the chat at the moment, but please do give us any questions you want to ask, any requests for song choices that Ed will be happy to sing along to. That's what he said. If he gets at least, maybe if we have 100 song choices, we can get Ed singing along to each of them. I think that would be a joyous morning for us all. But Suzanne, at the moment, over to you with regards to healthier at home.
Yeah, so it's just to let people know that today we're starting our healthier at home pilot on CAP. Today it started, it's going to be for a period of 2 weeks. And the essence of healthier at home is to identify those patients who wait in CAT, who don't necessarily require any medical or nursing intervention, but they're just having basic OBS done. So as opposed to them sitting on CAT doing that, we're trialling and discharging these appropriate patients home using Attend Anywhere and using appropriate kind of technology, observing them remotely. Examples of some of the conditions that would be suitable are bronchiolitis, when we're waiting for patients to have a feed, croup, gastro patients who are not dehydrated, but again waiting for patients to have a feed and waiting for urine, and patients with a fever with a focus, so waiting for pause to decrease. So these are the kind of things. It's Rags Teffy who has been leading on this piece of work, and he's up on CAP for the next 2 weeks, leading the way with this, and is supported massively by the likes of Abby and Tammy with the nursing teams. Lucy's doing wonderful things to try and release people. The PAs, the junior doctors are all part of this. What will happen is the inclusion exclusion sheet goes through the general and the condition specific criteria for acceptance onto the scheme in the first instance, and the carer understand and sign the agreement, so they're fully appraised of what's happening, what the expectation is, and what the pathway will be. So we look forward to listening to people's feedback and measuring the success of the pilot, and we'll absolutely feedback at this forum again once it's done and dusted, and we can see if it went well, or if it didn't go well, why not, and what lessons we can learn, and if there's any tweaks we can make, and if this is something we want to do on a more permanent basis. Yeah, so that's it for me in terms of healthier at home. The other thing we thought it might be useful to start doing at the Muddle is just to confirm what the ground round topic for this week would be on Wednesday. Still waiting for a bit more information, but I understand it's neonatal PhD research that's going to be discussed at the ground round this Wednesday. So we'll do that at the end of every Muddle as well, just so people are sighted on that, and it's just a bit of a prompt if it is something that's particularly of interest to you that you might want to get along. Thanks, Colin.
So thank you, Suzanne. And we've got accountability happening on the chat as well. Ed is shopping Celia with making sure that she does her 100-day lengths, as well as Ed signing himself up for a duet. So all looking forward to this. This is all looking good. So I can't see any obvious questions. Have I missed anything, Ed, at all?
No, that's all the AOB. Thanks, Colin. I just wanted to add, if anyone does want any information or help with setting up their 100 days challenge, you can ask me in the first instance and I can point you in the right direction. But by all means, do follow Celia's footsteps and let's everyone help get the team to the games in the best possible way.
Could not agree more, and a great way to end it. So huge thanks to you all for joining this morning, and look forward to seeing you in is it bank holiday next weekend? So
bank holiday, yeah.
So a couple of weeks, and we'll see you back on the Monday Muddle then. All right, thanks all.
Thank you.
Thanks, Colin.
Bye.
Week.